the Pro Wrestling Report Feedback Friday for Friday, October 30th, 2015, and it is the Halloween edition. Damian Nelson sitting here alongside the greatest American hero.
2 hours, not one.
David Hero. How are you?
I am fantastic.
Good.
Believe it or not, I am actually walking on air.
And the lights are on bright.
Yeah, they are. Wait. Who are you supposed to be?
Well, it's obvious.
Larry Hagman?
I'm JBL.
Okay. Oh, you do the two-step, don't you?
Absolutely,
I'm
yeah.
sure.
Got a cabinet, I got a limo with horns on it outside.
What?
And the lights are on bright.
Okay.
Michael?
Beautiful.
Well, Feedback Friday, folks, we want to take a bit of a different spin on it this week and talk about something we talked about last Saturday night on Primetime, which is the WWE Network. Obviously, last Sunday night, Hell in a Cell on the WWE Network, a special event, if you will. We've gotten podcasts, we've gotten new episodes, new broadcasts, whatever. And you said going into the match, and now especially coming out of the match, David Hero, Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar, felt a bit out of place. It wasn't as big a match as it should be, and in fact, in Be the Booker, you said that match should be happening at WrestleMania.
Yes.
The network business, if you will, for WWE has changed their business, where they are operating now on a month-to-month strategy to keep subscribers. Not to get you to buy pay-per-views, but to keep subscribers. So, in essence, whereas in the past they had to work month to month to month to month, now they're desperately trying on a week-to-week basis, and now we see things such as on an October pay-per-view, Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar in a Hell in a Cell matchup on essentially free TV.
But it's all free TV. I mean, they're giving away month after month after month.
You always get your first month free.
Right, but right now it's the pay-per-view business for them. The model has completely changed. It's about getting the.
They're not even on pay-per-view anymore, I don't think, in the States here.
They are. They still are.
Sure?
Certain companies.
Are you certain, Michael?
Yes, absolutely. And it's just weird because there's no urgency. There's no. I mean, they give away so much content.
I think
They have all this new programming coming, all these new shows and different ideas, and I mean, you go on the network and there's so many different things to choose from. That
I would say that there is more urgency, almost to the point of being obnoxious about, not that they're pushing the network, but that now every pay-per-view is as big as they can make it. What does that leave for WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, Survivor Series, the ones you knew you had to order every year? Now, one could argue that this makes them all ones you have to order every year, so you're going to drop that $9.99 a month for the network. I don't believe that to be the case, though. It is, and oh, by the way, at least in my mind, when these pay-per-view or special events happen on the network. It's not, oh my God, it's an event, it's something special.
No, I disagree because look what
Hell
they
in a
did.
Cell.
Look what
I
they
gotta
did
order it.
with the month of October. It was the month of Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar
They had
Go
the
to Hell
Madison
tour.
Square Garden appearance. Okay, he was featured there. He's in the podcast with Austin. Now he's main eventing pay-per-views with Undertaker. They know that Brock Lesnar is a draw.
But is Brock Lesnar still a special attraction?
Absolutely.
Is
you don't
there
see him
any
every week
risk
on Raw.
of diluting the specialness of a Brock Lesnar
Not at
with
all.
the overutilization?
No, because people wanted everything that they gave you of Brock Lesnar, you wanted. It wasn't done in a way that, I can catch a next thing because it's not that special. You wanted to see him at Madison Square Garden in New York City. You wanted to see him on the podcast with Stone Cold Steve Austin, and you want to see a Hell in a Cell match.
Yeah.
Which, the Hell in a Cell match, it's a gimmick. It's nowhere near as brutal and violent as it once was.
It's a prop.
It is a prop.
Now, let me ask you this. If the network were not the main focal point for WWE, and quite frankly, there's a lot of money tied to it and a lot of business results tied to it, if the network were not in existence and this was still the traditional pay-per-view model, would we have seen the Brock Lesnar Hell in a Cell Undertaker matchup last Sunday?
No, you would see it at Survivor Series, SummerSlam, Rumble, or WrestleMania.
What does this mean for WrestleMania? Look at the matches we've gotten in the last few months. Now, I know what they're trying to do with SummerSlam. SummerSlam's always been their second big event in their own mind, whereas in reality, it's the Royal Rumble. But what does this mean for WrestleMania? If you look back at the matches we've gotten on these special events in the last few months and what we're going to see at the Survivor Series, what does it mean for the big event in Dallas with 100,000 plus in AT&T Stadium? What match can they give us That's going to it's going to sell out, and then people are going to get the network for it anyways. But what match can they give us? Okay, what matches can they give us?
They're going to give you stuff with Brock Lesnar. They're going to give you stuff with The Rock. They're going to bring out Undertaker and Sting and Stone Cold Steve Austin.
We talked about on
That's the only way
Primetime
you
last Saturday. They can't rely on those veterans.
Bro Cephas.
I'm JBL.
With all due respect to the Monday Night Raw roster, you take away Brock Lesnar and John Cena.
Yes.
And the legends.
Yes.
The Triple H's, the Takers, the Austins. That roster cannot sell 100,000 tickets in Dallas.
WrestleMania will sell 100,000 tickets in Dallas. The event will sell
No,
100,000
it will
tickets in
not.
Dallas. Absolutely,
You
it will.
no,
Absolutely.
If
it
you
will.
don't have
Watch
Rock
November
and
6th,
Taker,
in a week or so when they go on sale, it will be near sold out at that point.
because people are expecting to see Taker and Rock and Austin.
Fine, they're going to buy
Because
a ticket,
that's what they're
though,
programmed
maybe
for.
expecting that, but they're buying a ticket for WrestleMania, not any match on it.
That's what I said.
No,
One
you
match is
didn't.
not
You
going
said-
to. Stop. I said there's not one match that will sell at WrestleMania. It's them seeing the stars that they want to see.
Which they won't
And
know
let's face
when they
it,
buy the tickets on November 6th.
Dolph Ziggler, Wade Barrett, Sheamus, Stardust, Neville, Miz, Sandow, New Day, those guys alone can barely get 5,000 seats at a house show. Right?
With John Cena on top of that house
Yeah,
show, yes,
exactly.
you're right, those guys alone.
So you need the spectacle of WrestleMania with the Hall of Fame. You need the Takers, the Brocks, the Rocks, the Austins. Hell, maybe Hulk Hogan comes back by then. You would never know. That's what you're paying to see. That's what sells WrestleMania, is the spectacle of it.
But that sells the WrestleMania pay-per-views. The WrestleMania tickets will sell out before the event, even before the main event is announced for the match, for the event.
I disagree.
It has every year.
This is different. This is 100,000 people.
Okay, so
Hey,
that's
we
12,000 more than
listen,
they sold last year. They'll be fine.
Hey, listen, we can do a little side wager. You know, I'll throw a bottle of Jameson your
WrestleMania
way.
tickets go on sale November 6th. The event will be essentially sold out
But you
by
can
November
get
30th.
your tickets now from the Pro Wrestling Report.
You can join us in a suite at WrestleMania in Dallas, Texas. Watch it in style, if you will, with snacks, drinks, and even spending some quality time with me and Linda Kay in the suite at Dallas.
I'm gonna be
in
there.
Dallas for WrestleMania. PWRshow.com is the place to go to buy your tickets. Only a few seats remain, but be that as it may, the network.
Yes.
What impact will it have on WrestleMania 32, if any?
It's going to be huge because they are going to lay so much groundwork leading up to WrestleMania, showing all the WrestleMania moments, the big matches, the surprises, the special effects, the special appearances. They're going to make it be the big event that it is through their production.
I still argue the name itself sells the event.
It does because people expect to see certain things.
But you know what happens when you have expectations.
It's the
You're
first
setting
step to
yourself up.
disappointment.
Yep. Well, anyways, folks, big announcement last week. The PWR Now Network. Me and Gene Okerlund coming to the podcast world with the Hotline, and Al Snow with Head also coming to the PWR Now podcast network. In addition to these shows and PWR Reaction, of which we will be guest hosting over the next few weeks on NXT Wednesdays.
I spoke to Al about the podcast, and we've agreed that we got to change a lot of the names to protect the guilty in some of these stories.
So you can't use Cousin Joe.
Well, maybe. He might be the exception.
All right, folks, thank you so much for tuning in here to Feedback Friday. Join us at PWRshow.com and subscribe now to the PWR Now